I'm gonna give people just a few more minutes to hop on before I actually start getting into things. I have a scheduled Facebook Live for noon, so I'll probably give it until about 12:02 before I really start to dive into things. And then I'm gonna make sure that I have this Facebook page shared everywhere across our social media platforms, so I can keep up with comments and stuff the best that I can. So if you don't see me talking, just hang on a little bit, because like I said earlier, I'm going to give people a little bit of time to hop on, and that way they can watch the whole thing. And of course, if people, tune in the middle of it, then I'm still going to leave this video up, so that way you can get the latest. But I just remembered that I need to do something, so I need to write that down before I forget. Okay. All right. Oops. Hey. Okay, if you're watching this Facebook Live, comment live. If you're just now tuning in and you're watching a replay, comment replay. And of course, if you have questions as we go along this Facebook Live, please feel free to leave them in the comments, because at the end of this very long video, I'm going to give people the time to ask a few questions. I have a little while this morning, some allotted time to spend with you guys on Facebook Live to make sure that we're getting all the information out. So if you're just now tuning in, good afternoon. It's very, very early noon. It's right at noon, a little bit after. I just wanted to hop on here really quickly and give you guys an update on the evolving severe threat that we have heading into this afternoon, heading into tomorrow, specifically tomorrow night, into early Saturday morning. And then of course Saturday, pretty much all day Saturday until very, very early Sunday morning. So thanks for tuning in if you're watching. I'm gonna go ahead and get things rolling, and like I said, you can go ahead and leave questions in the comments as you think about them, and then at the very end of this, I guess if you will, forecast, then I will answer them. So let's go ahead and get going. So this morning we're seeing a little bit of rain move through. We had a little bit of hail that started to form to the west of Coleman County earlier this morning, but as these storms are progressing west to eastward, they are starting to dissipate just a little bit, so the strength isn't really there. What we really need to see, widespread severe storms. Now keep in mind, when we say severe storms, we're not automatically talking about tornadoes. You can have hail with severe storms, you can have damaging winds with severe storms, flooding with severe storms. So those are all of the key components that we're going to be watching for threat-wise heading into this weekend. So this is what we were expecting today. Today is not really that big of a weather threat. That's why today is not a weather impact alert day. Actually, I need to make sure this is on the right link system. Should be good now. So Storm Prediction Center, they do have a marginal risk for a little bit of severe weather to develop later this afternoon mainly. And that's really just going to be for hail and potentially damaging winds. We're not seeing a really, high tornado threat really at all this afternoon with this round of rain that's expected to move through. So it's a marginal risk for mainly areas south of the Huntsville metro. So really areas along and south of 565 is where that marginal risk for severe weather stands for today. So we do have weather impact alert days for tomorrow, Friday, March the 14th, and for Saturday, March the 15th, into early Sunday morning. So really, the main time frame for this looks like it's going to be around 9 o'clock late tomorrow night into extremely early Sunday morning. I really don't see the severe threat lasting until early Sunday morning, but we're just going to give it a little leeway time. And obviously what we're going to be watching for is severe weather. Now, we are in our prime severe weather season here in the Tennessee Valley, so this should come as no surprise. March, April, and May are actually the 3 months out of a year that we see the most tornadoes, and have seen the most tornadoes since about the 1950s. So it's not a surprise, you know, we're in our primary severe weather season here, and it's going to last until at least early May here. So we do have an enhanced risk for strong to severe thunderstorms to develop. Now, like I said, this is mainly for tomorrow night. Could we see a little bit of development in the afternoon? Sure. But I'm really thinking the time frame for this is probably going to be about 9 o'clock Friday, beginning on the western side of the Tennessee Valley. And then, of course, storm's going to move west to east. So eastern side of the Tennessee Valley, Fort Payne area, probably going to see the rain from the system move in extremely early Saturday morning. But we're expecting the same threats with this. It's just not going to be as big of a threat as what we're expecting heading into Saturday. Saturday, all 3 days are going to be important, today, tomorrow, and Saturday. But Saturday, if you're going to pay attention at all to any day, it should be Saturday, because like I said, Saturday has the greatest risk for strong to severe thunderstorms to develop. And this is really going to be an all-day event, but that main time frame for tornadic development looks like it's going to be mostly Saturday afternoon. Could we see a spin up early Saturday morning? Sure. We've got a primed atmosphere for that. We've got all of the ingredients that we need for tornadic development heading into Saturday. Now, I do want to say this real quick. Models are a guidance. It's not a guarantee. We're not guaranteeing that we're going to see, you know, an EF2 or an EF3 move through Madison County. We're just basing our forecast and getting you prepared for what could happen heading into this weekend. You know, some of us could not even see a tornado warning at all potentially, but our atmosphere is primed for that. And I do have a relatively high confidence that we probably will see a couple of tornado warnings heading into Saturday. But does that mean that your specific street is going to see a tornado? No. And I will also say one thing. I was here during April the 27th, 2011. I experienced it as a person. I didn't experience it as a degreed meteorologist at the time. In fact, April 27th is what actually pushed me over that line I was kind of teetering on if I wanted to study meteorology or if I wanted to pursue other career opportunities, just because it was such an impactful day. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, well, now known as X, you know, talk about how they're thinking that this is going to be April 27th. That is not the case. April 27th was probably a once-in-a-lifetime event that most of us will see, and no severe weather risk is the same as others. Are patterns the same? Could be. But, you know, tomorrow if we see tornadoes, then that's going to be its own tornado day. And all it takes is, you know, one tornado for it to, you know, impact your life, whereas, you know, April 27th was a widespread thing. We're not expecting that to happen tomorrow by any means. Not expecting it to be like April 27th at all. I can say that with complete confidence. Now, I want to zoom things out because there has been a moderate risk introduced in Saturday's severe weather threat, but it really, really teeters on that Coleman-Jefferson County line. So it is the extreme southern portion of Coleman County that is included within this moderate risk. I will say that looking at parameters and looking at different models today, the highest tornado threat does look like it will occur in the moderate risk. Now, could this be shifted northward and include some of the Tennessee Valley? Sure, that's the SPC's decision. I don't work for the SPC. I just take their messaging and relay it to the community, which is what my job essentially is. So as of right now, we just have an enhanced risk, but that doesn't mean we couldn't see, you know, 2 to 5 tornadoes potentially. That's just where it's looking like, I'll say, juicier atmosphere is going to be for tornadic development heading into Saturday. So here's what our storm threats are probably going to be looking like heading into late tomorrow night. And like I said, early Sunday morning is when we're expecting this threat to be over. In fact, Sunday actually going to be a nice day. We're going to see those clouds move out. Temperature is going to be really comfortable, and we'll start to see some sunshine heading into Sunday afternoon. But we got to get through the storm before we can enjoy the sun. So heavy rainfall, it could potentially lead to a flash flooding threat. We're going to be watching for that. This is the type of event that we do have the parameters and what we need for large hail development. So that's going to be about 1 inch or greater. And then our damaging wind threat, which is wind gusts of about 70 miles per hour. Now these are essentially the same threats that we saw with the last event that moved through. The only difference is the tornado threat is higher, and we do have that chance for EF2 tornadoes, potentially even stronger, and potentially long-tracked tornadoes heading into Saturday. This is going to be the case heading into Friday night, early Saturday morning as well. And like Jordan has mentioned, we're going to be seeing multiple rounds from this. So round 1 is going to be moving through. Also, if you see me looking off to the side, that's because I'm looking at my weather graphics. Round 1, it's going to be moving through Friday night into early Saturday morning. So when I say Friday night, I'm thinking probably about 9 o'clock earliest time for beginning, and then probably going to end early Saturday morning around, I would say, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. We will have that chance for strong storms, but the severe chance is just a little bit smaller than what we're expecting to see Saturday. Now, round 2 is where we're going to see storms that's going to develop late Saturday morning, and it's going to continue into the early portion of the afternoon. This is where all modes of severe weather will be possible. When I say all modes, all threats for severe weather. Like I mentioned earlier, tornadoes are not the only thing that we base severe weather off of. It also includes hail diameter. It includes how strong damaging winds potentially could be, things like that. So that's where we're going to be seeing all of those threats come into play. Now, Saturday evening into Saturday night, that's where we're going to see the best chance for severe weather. This is not me saying that we won't see any severe weather throughout the day on Saturday. Saturday evening into the overnight, that's just the main time window that looks like it's going to bring the best opportunity for severe weather development, including those EF2 or greater tornadoes and potentially long tracked. So here's what Futurecast is looking like. Here's around 1 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to continue to see off and on rain showers throughout the day. I mentioned earlier, we do have that marginal risk for a few strong to severe thunderstorms to develop. We're mainly going to be watching for hail and damaging wind gusts with this first round, so today's storm risk. I'm not expecting tornadic development today, but we have that atmosphere that's primed for hail development as well. So these isolated to potentially scattered storms will continue into Thursday night. And it looks like we'll see a little bit of a lull in the rain activity heading into Friday morning. Now Friday, that's when we're going to see that risk elevate just a little bit. And then of course Friday night, that's when that main window for that first round that we're going to be watching will move through. So here's about 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. We're not really expecting to see a whole lot. Like I said, the main round looks like it's going to be coming late Friday night, early Saturday morning. So heading into Saturday around midnight and early Saturday morning, I said that time frame would probably be around 10 o'clock Friday until about 5 a.m., 6 a.m. early Saturday morning. So we're going to continue to see that threat throughout the morning on Saturday. We'll catch a little bit of a lull heading into early afternoon on Saturday, and then we'll start to see more storms pick back up. So here's about 3 o'clock Saturday. That's when we're going to start to see that risk for severe weather become a thing again. Now this is where we also could see tornadic development too, but our greatest threat for tornadic development is going to be coming late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. So we've got that cold front that's going to be bringing that main line of rain that we're expecting. That's expected to move out late Saturday into early Sunday morning. So I'm expecting the biggest severe weather threat to be probably around 4 o'clock Saturday until about midnight, 1 a.m. Sunday morning. So that's probably, if you're going, you need to pay attention to today, tomorrow, and Saturday. But if you're going to pay attention at all, I know some of us get caught up in life. We don't check the weather as often. But Saturday is probably going to be the day that you want to pay attention to the absolute most. You know, have those multiple ways to receive warnings. The greatest advice that I could give you is to download the FOX54 app, because, you know, we cover 13 counties here in the Tennessee Valley. And as soon as one of those counties becomes under a tornado warning, we're going to push that out as soon as possible, and you're going to get an alert on your phone for that. And then, of course, we have the automated alerts that scare the crap out of you. Once those make that loud tone on your phone, those will go off as well. And then, of course, you can watch this on TV. A NOAA weather radio is also a good idea as well, because those things are loud too. And majority of this is going to be a nocturnal event, so you need to have something that will be loud enough to wake you up. So by early Sunday morning, so around 6 a.m., 7 a.m., we're going to start to clear out, and high pressure actually going to build in back behind that system. And it's going to bring us some sunshine heading into Sunday and into Monday as well. But like I said, you shouldn't be surprised that we're dealing with a severe weather threat today. Today, tomorrow, and Saturday. My light just died. Because we are in our primary severe weather season here across the Tennessee Valley. So if you're wondering what a good tornado safe place would be, you need to go ahead and have this prepared, know where you're going to go, and have all of your equipment, you know, safe in your shelter with you. So that's going to include, you know, something to cover your head. I always tell people to have a portable charger and go ahead and have that charged up, because if you do lose power, I know our phones are probably the primary way that if we do go into coverage and the power goes off, you'll be able to see us on Facebook Live, you'll be able to see us on our FOX54 app, and we also stream on YouTube as well. So the most unsafe bet is going to be mobile or manufactured homes, areas that have large open rooms. And of course, if you're out and about, a overpass, going underneath an overpass is not a safe option. Being in your car is not a safe option. So you need to find another safe option. So a more safe option is going to be the most interior room of your home on the lowest level, away from windows, away from exterior walls. So I know for me, when I was growing up, that was our bathroom. My Nana had a bathroom closet, and that was the place that we would always go to the most. And of course, we would have our bicycle helmets on and things like that. Now, obviously, I'm an adult, so if we have a tornado threat, I'm going to have to be here. But that's just an example of a place, that I would always go to when I was a child. Of course, your most safe is going to be a basement or a tornado shelter. I know we do have a list of tornado shelters for the public on FOX54.com, so you can go to that, and I think it's listed county by county, so you'll be able to see what areas do have storm shelters and if they're going to be open today. So if you're just now tuning in, I'm going to answer a few questions. I had a few sent to me. Let's see. I'm going to check our FOX54 Facebook page, because I've got this streaming on multiple platforms, so I want to make sure that I'm answering everybody's questions that they have. Not seeing any at the moment. I had someone reach out about a question, but they didn't send the question. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stay up for just a little bit in case you think of a question to ask. No, this is not going to be like 2011. As I mentioned earlier, April 27th, 2011 was a generational tornado outbreak. So what that means is it's probably once in a lifetime, just like the blizzard of '93. The anniversary for that was yesterday. That's a once in a lifetime event as well. I have seen that all over my social media. It does kind of make me a little bit angry, because I don't like for people to compare what we're seeing today to other past events, because no event is the same. Could it have the same trends and the same patterns? Sure. But I'm not expecting at all, and I can say this with 100% confidence, to be like April 27th, 2011. We had over 100 tornadoes that day across the southeast, and that is not the case for this event. I will say that the Storm Prediction Center, so someone asked what the SPC was. The SPC is the Storm Prediction Center. They're the ones that release the big outlooks that we see. They are the ones who coordinate with the National Weather Service once we have an idea of, are we going to need a tornado watch? Are we going to need a severe thunderstorm watch? Things like that. So anything that relates to severe weather is going to come from the Storm Prediction Center, who then will discuss it with the local National Weather Service office. So that will be here in Huntsville. And then they relay that to us, because yes, we do know the science behind everything, but we're broadcast meteorologists. So we're taking their messaging and portraying that out to the public, so we get the best coverage of information spread out to people. So that's what the Storm Prediction Center is. But no, we're not expecting this event to be like April 27th, 2011 at all. You had to have a lot of things happen dynamically wise, and I'm not going to get into that because I literally could be on Facebook Live for an hour, and I do have some things that I need to do in just a second, but no event is the same. You know, if we have 2 or 3 tornadoes happen tomorrow, then people are going to associate, you know, tomorrow or Saturday as its own day because we saw tornadoes that day. Just like when we had the, you know, high risk for severe weather, which is rare, by the way. High risk is rare. The last time that we were under a high risk for severe weather was March of 2021 here in the Huntsville area. And we hardly saw any severe weather that day. There's a lot of things that have to come into play for severe weather development. But it's just going to be if all of these things can come together at the right time. As I mentioned earlier, the weather models that we look at, it's just a guidance. It's not a guarantee. It just shows us what the atmosphere could look like at a certain time. You know, if we have enough moisture, if we're going to have enough instability, if we're going to have enough shear to have these storms really kind of rapidly fire off. And that's what the trends are looking like. Now, we have to have a lot happen for it to come into play. There are certain scenarios where if this happens, then this, and this could happen. But if it doesn't happen, then this, and this could also happen. But this is what we're the most confident in right now. And I don't really see that changing heading into tomorrow or heading into Saturday either. So I think I've got everybody's questions answered. What I am going to do is I'm going to leave this Facebook Live video attached to my profile. I'm not going to delete it. So if you did just join in kind of in the middle of it or at the end of it, you can go back and watch the replay. But yes, this is the latest information. This is what I know. This is what Jordan knows. And of course, as we get new updated information, we're going to push that out to you if our forecast changes at all. But this is what we're thinking we're going to be dealing with tomorrow and Saturday. So you want to go ahead and have multiple ways to receive warnings if we do have a tornado warning issued. You want to go ahead and have your safe space ready to go. So if your county does become under a tornado warning, then you can automatically go to your safe space. You don't have to think about, you know, where to go. And what I like to do personally is I make a go bag. So I put in, you know, my daily prescriptions that I would need if God forbid, you know, my house did get blown away by a tornado. I'm always prepared for worst case scenario. So I always keep things like my prescriptions in a bag. I keep a phone charger, a portable charger. Of course, I like to keep like little beef jerky sticks, little bottles of Gatorade. I bring what fits my dog needs. I'll always pack him like a little bitty baggie of dog food, and I always have his collar on him. That's another thing. If you have pets, go ahead and, because my dog doesn't wear his collar all of the time. He's an inside dog. So if you are planning to have to go to a storm shelter, well, really in case, if you go under a tornado warning at all, you just need to go ahead and have your dog's collar on him, because if, as I mentioned earlier, God forbid your house does get struck by a tornado and some reason they run off, that sometimes is the case in some circumstances, they're going to have their collar on, which will have your contact info on the back. That's another good little tidbit of knowledge that I have that I'll share with you. So, you know, just have a call to action. So if you do see a tornado warning tomorrow, you're going to be ready to go, and you're not going to be running around like a chicken with its head cut off, wondering, you know, where can I go, or what type of things do I need to bring with me to a storm shelter, or do I have a bicycle helmet, or do I have hard-soled shoes, things like that. So go ahead and prepare. This is not a panic moment. This is a prepared moment. I know a lot of people deal with storm anxiety, and I'm just rambling right now, but don't be anxious about this. Be prepared. We're giving you enough time in advance to be able to prepare for worst case scenario tomorrow and Saturday. But I am going to go ahead and end this Facebook Live. I got some things that I need to do off camera to get ready for the rest of this afternoon. And like I said, if you're not following my Facebook page, if you're watching from the FOX54 News Facebook page, go ahead and follow my Facebook page. And of course, follow Jordan's Facebook page, because as we get new information, we're going to relay that to you, so you guys are also notified of what the latest trends are looking like heading into tomorrow. So go ahead and have your safe places ready to go. Think about your call to action, and just keep up with the weather. And don't be scared about it. Be prepared, like I said. So I'm going to hop off of here. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I think Jordan will be back later this evening for another Facebook Live. So like I said, be sure to follow him as well. And then, of course, we'll have new updates. I think the Storm Prediction Center, they'll put out a new update in regards to Saturday around 2:30. So if any changes happen with that, then I'll also be able to push that out as well. Download the FOX54 app. Like I said, if we have warnings, we're going to alert you to those immediately. And you can always find the latest weather article there as well. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. If you have any questions for me in regards to this upcoming severe weather event, feel free to shoot me a message on Facebook. You can also email me if you don't want to message me on Facebook. It's just eowen@fox54.com. And as always, I will update you guys with the latest information and if we have any changes in regards to this weekend. So have a great Thursday, and hopefully we're not going to be in for a whole lot of severe weather heading into this weekend.